Coming at you with another tournament vlog. Today I'm going from the Mission South location to the Mission North location, located close to the Kansas City International Airport. Today I'm going to be sticking with a similar game plan to what I was on yesterday, which is going to be N's Zoroark. I've decided that I'm going to cut out the whole Dragapult package and just focus mainly on the consistency of trade and doubling down on being able to use Darmanitan and N's Reshiram to take down the cup that I'm going to. Yesterday, the finals were Dusknoir Dragapult versus Gardevoir. So if I can hit those players, or I can hit similar matchups to what I did yesterday, save for the odd Typhlosion player, I should be all set. This is the deck list for today, a pretty stock standard Zoroark build without Arven and no counter gain. Already, just finished round 1, played against Justin Phillips. He was on Marnie's Grimmsnarl with Frostlass. It was a bit of a weird game. I lost the coin flip, so I was made to go first. Thankfully, my hand was pretty decent. I opened 2 Dark Energy, Secret Box, Hilda, Reshiram, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and Enzarua. I went ahead and started the Enzarua, and my top deck per turn was Artisan. So I could have held on to my Secret Box if I really wanted to. I could have played through Artisan to get a second Zorua and then start setting up for a turn 2 Night Joker copying Virtuous Flame. But since he started a lone Monkey Dory, I wasn't actually sure that he was playing Grimlast just yet. So I went ahead and played my Secret Box, discarding a Dark Energy, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and Hilda, and I searched out Buddy Buddy Poffin, N's Castle, and Power Glass, as well as Serrano. So my Buddy Buddy Poffin resolves for 2 Zorua, and I get a Power Glass attachment from discard, as well as Artisaning for my Darumaka. Then, on his turn, he starts with Pokegear, finds Arven, plays Arven, gets Secret Box Air Balloon, plays Secret Box, and puts down the Spikemuth Stadium. So I understand that he's going to be setting up his board a little bit better. However, he just picks Boss, and then finishes his search. Not searching for Nest Ball or Buddy Buddy Poffin or Ultra Ball or anything really. And then he uses Spikemuth to search out a Grimmsnarl EX. On my turn, I top deck Serrano, so I have 2 Serranos in my hand, plus N's Castle, the second Dark Energy, and lastly a N's Reshiram. So if I miss on the trades to draw into Darmanitan, I can just go in with Virtuous Flame. Hopefully I don't have to. I go Serrano for the 3, start trading. My first trade gives me Iono and ends PP up, and then I trade again, discarding Iono, drawing Boss, and I believe a extra Dark Energy or maybe Reversal. And then my final trade is Darmanitan, and that basically just seals the game because I go evolve Darumaka into Darmanitan, attach second Dark Energy, announce Flame Body Cannon, KO his currently active Marnie's Impidimp, and then do 90 to his benched Monkey Dory. And his hand was too low a size for him to seemingly come back into the game, and he just scoops up immediately thereafter. So starting 1-0, feeling good about it. I'm really happy to be able to play the Darmanitan in this version of the deck. I'm hoping that I can have a smooth few games, sort of as a payback for what happened yesterday. But we will see. Going into round 2, should be a couple minutes, so I'll be able to look at the room and see what matchups I do want to hit. Okay, just finished round 2, paired into Caius Thorpe, who is the Game Nut local that is currently on a huge bend with Joltik Box. So already a bad matchup before we even sat down at the table. I wasn't too worried. I had mapped out a game plan with somebody yesterday after I had left, somebody that wasn't going to be at this tournament today, but somebody that I did trust with deck advice. The game was pretty rough. I won the coin flip, so I got to choose second, which meant he was a turn behind. Got to go Buddy Buddy Poffin, search my deck. 2 Zoros are prized. Fantastic. Look at my other resources. Darmanitan is prized, Badu is prized, which basically just means that I'm not going to be able to stop like pokey gears for anything. I basically just have to go like lower my hand as much as possible, put down Cleffa, shove Cleffa to the active, draw 5, and then like miss basically all the good cards. Like I draw like 2 Zoroark, Darmanitan, which I didn't establish a Darmaka, so that was pretty rough. But throughout the game, I made sure to keep it really close. I forced him to attack with Pikachu first into my active Zoroark after I had knocked out his Joltik to set myself to 5. I planned to take 4 in a turn as long as I was able to Flame Body Cannon onto Mew ahead of time, which eventually I forced him into a route where he had to bench Iron Leaves to move his Iron Hands out of the active, and then he used that to one-shot my active Zoroark. So 1-1. I was very close to winning. Unfortunately, I just made a minor mistake at the end of the game where I didn't stack a Iono for my next turn off of Cypher Maniac, which meant that his entire hand of like probably 15 cards, if he has Arven or Boss, or just Arven at that point, he probably wins. But if he doesn't have Arven somehow, I win on the following turn by using another Darmanitan with Reversal Energy to take 4. So a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. There's definitely room for me to improve. I don't know why I didn't think about Ionoing him with his hand size being so large, but I'm not so worried about the matchup, but I definitely feel a lot more positive about it. But again, I won the coin flip, so that's how I should feel about it. Going into round 3, I'm not sure what I'm around. The table next to us was Charizard Pidgeot with Dusknoir, Kavai, the same guy that I played yesterday in round 2. And he was playing against a Joltik Box player. I don't know who won that matchup, but I don't really want to play another Joltik Box again. But with best of 1, we just had to make the most of our scenario, and I don't know, I felt really good about my play against Caius, and I think if I match into another Joltik Box, I'm not going to be too pressed on how I'm going to play out that game. Alright, just finished round 3. Played against Andrew Allen, who is on Cynthia's Garchomp, but not just any Cynthia's Garchomp. He was on very close to my list. He admitted himself a few rounds ago, and then we finally paired into each other at 1-1. It was a pretty okay game. I won the coin flip, got to choose second, opened good cards, was able to establish a good board in front of him. So I ran out for 2 Zoroarks and a Blood Moon Ursaluna, and then Secret Boxed to begin establishing more of the board. His turn 2 was Ultra Ball to evolve a Gabite, and then Champion's Call for another Gabite, and then Champion's Call again for Roselia, which I was kind of worried about. I was hoping that I could deal with his Gabites before they got on, but it's kind of just a matchup where once the tempo starts picking up, you have to match or you're gonna fall behind. So after he evolved both his Gibbles into Gabites and put down the Roselia, I bossed and KO'd a Gabite. Then I began establishing Darmaka and bumped my own Artisan to make sure that he couldn't use it going into his next turn to establish anything else. He then Arvened and played down Unfair Stamp instead of Secret Box, which is the one difference. He said he wanted to play a copy of Hilda or 2, and we were discussing it a little bit. I think I would cut the Ultra Ball from my last list and maybe one of the Fighting Energy, but doing that also makes it harder for you to effectively use Crispin. And especially now, after the last 2 League Cups, we finally have a few players beginning to pick up Gholdengo, which is not a good matchup for that deck, especially because I can just go ESP for the first one, double Superior Energy Retrieval for the second one, and you never get to use Spiritomb in the matchup, which is really important because you're always going to fall behind. So now 2-1, looking pretty good so far. I don't think I'm around any bad matchups right now. I do know that there is a Ethan's Typhlosion sitting at 2-1 right now, and without any of the tech or like Tool Scrapper or anything like that to try and disrupt their Silver Bangles or anything, I hope that I don't hit them before we can ID and make it in the cut, but we will have to see how the rounds pair out, and I'm not going to get my hopes up because yesterday I got burned pretty bad after the down pair at 3-1 into a person that must play and then getting beat on resistance by 2%. So we'll check it back in after round 4 is over, and we'll see how things are going. I think right now there's been no natural ties, which means that at least 1 3-2 should be able to make it, if not 2. Alrighty, I just played against Nathan Marker, who is on Charizard Dragapult. We had a pretty decent game. I definitely was leading the entire time. My opening hand was a Zorua, Reshiram, 2 Monkey Dory, and Buddy Buddy Poff and Serrano. So I basically had access to as many Zoroarks as I would have needed for the entirety of the game. But on his turn, because he won the coin flip and got to choose second, he went ahead and Ioned me from 5 cards. So I got to see more cards at the end of the day. I got to see +1 card on my draw for turn, but he actually sent me into another hand that had Serrano in it. So on the next turn, I just immediately Serrano, get 3 Zoroarks established, start attaching my energies, and then I Itchy Pollen him, which led to this weird standoff where we were both capable of using more Itchy Pollens, but he would have wanted to Evo because he had a pretty weak board. It was strange because like I had this really good pop-off turn where I traded into Secret Box. So I pretty much hit the nuts, I'm gonna be so honest. Like what happened, I told him was like pretty insane because I Secret Boxed, got Hilda, Power Glass, Ends Castle to bump Artisan so that he couldn't use it. Then Night Stretcher to make sure that I could recover a Dark Energy if I absolutely had to. Then I Hilda to get Darmanitan Dark Energy, attach Dark Energy to my benched Monkey Dory, move the 10 off of my Badoo onto his single Charmeleon, that's the 100 HP Charmeleon, and then use Ends PP up while my benched Zoroark has 1 on it, and I go ahead with a Flame Body Cannon, KOing a active 3P with a Luminous, and then a benched Charmeleon, the 100 HP Charmeleon, but it had 90 HP because of the 1 damage counter from Monkey Dory. From there, I kind of just led the game, set myself to 3, never took more than 3. He was pretty much out of Ionos by the midpoint of the game, and he had to Evo off of Badoo into double Dragapult, which basically just completely shut down his draw engine. And from there, I kind of just kept hold of the game, made sure that I could keep attaching energies as necessary. The Power Glass made sure that it was really easy to chain attacks. I had to sit there for a while and just not do anything because I really needed to get access to Turo and Reshiram after replacing my Badoo on the bench. So 3-1. The judge has been talking with a lot of the players in contention for Top Cut. It looks like we have about 9 people, maybe 10. So there is the possibility that A311 will take a risky ID to lose. I'm going to keep my eye out for what the matchup is so that I know if I can maybe get the ID, especially if my opponent has good resistance, or if I can just go ahead and play it out and see if that will work for me. A round 5 pairings got put up, and I was meant to play against Josh Himstead, who is the only Ethan's Typhlosion representative in the room today. He's playing the same list that I believe he's playing close to the same list that Aaron Dugan was playing yesterday, who I lost to in round 5 and then lost on resistance to bubble out. So took the ID. My bubble is risky. I do have 2 opponents in the Top Cut, including Josh. So it's Josh and Caius, who was the guy that I played in round 2. I believe I also might have 1 additional person in Top Cut. So I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to fall with the resistance. I'm hoping that I'm on the side of the bracket where I don't play against Josh, either early or early at all. I really hope I just kind of dodge that matchup, because I feel like without having the Tool Scrapper or Rigid Band or any other tech pieces that can reduce the damage, my game plan is actually really shaky, because he can always just choose to not attack until he starts one-shotting things. And then if I don't get to use Dory to fix the math on Flame Body Cannon, just gonna start losing the game very fast. So 3-1-1. My resistance should be on the upper end. Hopefully I'm gonna be somewhere around 5th or 7th seed. I'm just not 100% sure what I wanna be and where everybody else will fall, because there's at least 1, maybe 2 4-1s that are coming out of this round. I'll post the final standings following, and hopefully I have made cut this time.